Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Like Water for Chocolate. We're on episode 3. I am Lex Love, and of course with me is Truth.
Good morning.
How was your week?
It was, you know me, busy.
Of course.
But I took a little bit more me time.
Good.
I did. I took a little bit more me time. That means I had to cut out some time from the gym, but I came home early enough before my husband fell asleep. So I had to do that this week. It was good. It was needed because I never really see the guy. So,
aww,
yeah.
He needs some sweetie moments.
He does. He was starting to become a little brat, so I had to rearrange some things to make it work.
That's cool. I've been getting home and going to sleep at like 8:30. I don't know
wish.
What's wrong with me. I'm
still working.
I know. I'm sorry for you. But we have a guest today.
We do have a guest.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself. If he wants to give you guys a little bit of his background, he can, but it's completely up to him.
Mystery guy. What's up?
All right. Good morning. Good morning, listeners. I appreciate the support being on the show. Glad to give my opinion and some love to you ladies. Great thing you guys are doing. My name is Jay, 28 years old. I am an entrepreneur, computer technician, designer.
He does all that.
All the above.
Father, sports enthusiast, photographer.
Nice.
All of that. So just here to show my support.
Cool.
Well, we appreciate having you. And he did mention father, which is one of the reasons we brought him on the episode, because we're going to dive into co-parenting or the lack thereof.
Right.
So to start us off, how old is your baby?
She is 7 years old.
And she's so gorgeous.
I appreciate
and
that.
And she acts like you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's cute.
And then you guys all know that me and Lex have kids. I have my daughter who's 13 and then my crazy son who's 4.
Yes, my 2 daughters, fresh, brand new 2-month-old and a 6-year-old. Yeah.
And so when it comes to parenting, in today's time, co-parenting is really important if you and that person are not together anymore, whether it's just something that happened and a baby came out of it,
right,
or we were together for some time, we tried to make it work, but it just really wasn't for us. It's like making sure that child or the children still have a balance. So in your case, Jay, with your relationship, was it a relationship or was it just something that happened?
Definitely a relationship. I met my child's mother in high school, like a lot of people do. We grew together, ended up having a child, tried to make that thing work when we became real adults, in that after high school life,
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out the way we had planned.
Right.
But making the best of that and co-parenting. And, hopefully that stays great.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too many, bad moments in between that.
That's a good thing. That's really good to hear. And then Lex, I know you do the co-parenting. How does that work for you? I know there was some rough moments.
Yeah, there was definitely some rough moments. We had to work at it. I think we're at a friends level now. We're really cool at that.
And you guys had a relationship prior, like a real relationship.
Yeah, we did. We were together for a while, and I think once she hit about 1.5 is when it started to kind of turn. I don't know. I feel like I was evolving in a bit. He was kind of at the same level.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? He didn't. It's not that he didn't go like decline or anything. It's just I was going up.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And you're there. Right.
And once you become a mommy, that happens because you have no choice.
I guess that's true.
You change kind of overnight. You saw that even with Azalea.
Oh, yeah.
You were like thinking that, you're going to stay the same person. And I've watched you transition into somebody different. So that definitely can, change some things. With me, I never really did co-parenting. I had Gianni in high school. Her father was older than me, so he was already out of school. And Yeah, there's been no help since day one. I'm just going to keep it real.
And why do you think that is?
I honestly don't know, because it can't be the whole evolving thing, because he was older than me, so he should have been more mature. He already had a kid as well. So this wasn't his first go round. I just think that I guess I could have made better choices in my selection, but if I did, I wouldn't have Gianni.
That's true.
I knew who he was before it happened. I guess when you're young, you're hoping that the baby will kind of change things.
Yeah.
You guys, it doesn't. But I guess I co-parented, but with my parent and with my grandparents. They were my co-parents. That was my support system. And so when Whitney went through Whitney, they helped me with Gianni. And now she has a full-blown father. Yeah. So we have a full live-in situation. So that's why I kind of wanted a little more insight on the co-parenting, because I've never done it. So, do you guys have a schedule or a routine?
Yes, we do have a schedule. We split my daughter half the week. So, 3.5 is kind of hard to get that half in there.
Oh, right.
So it's probably could be like a little more 3, 4, but it works well. In the beginning, it's really difficult because when you do have a relationship with your child's mother or father, you don't split time. You know, you see your baby all the time. There wasn't a day I wasn't without her. She knew where daddy was going, when he was coming.
Yeah.
And when that split happened, it was tough because, your child's your best friend. You know everything about her. You spend time with them. It turned into a little distance, of course,
Right.
And you have to grow within that for yourself and for your kid, So I'm thankful for being able to split. I'm thankful for not having, such a tough time with spending time with my daughter, because there are some guys that do. So that's a blessing.
She makes it easy for you.
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
I'm gonna be honest though. A lot of that making it easy is myself. I can't rely on her to allow things or her to lead the way. I have to take the initiative to make sure I get that time.
Message.
I have to communicate.
Absolutely.
I have to communicate that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I have to demand that equality in there. So
I think that's where a lot of men mess up, is that they expect the women to schedule it all out and to make it easy for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm my daughter's last line of defense. I respect her mother and I respect her grandparents and all of that, but as her father, I'm the one at the end of the day that has to get it done.
Yeah.
If you need something and mom can't do it, grandpa couldn't do it, you didn't learn it at school, it's my responsibility to make sure that was learned, that was given to you, or that was on your plate.
Absolutely.
So
That's what's up. It is so refreshing to hear that type of co-parenting, because so often we hear men who will say that their baby mama is making it so hard and so difficult for them to see the child. And I know there's two sides to every story. I'll just touch on one that I know for sure. There is one individual who, honestly, it is the mother just making it hard, because they had a relationship. He told her, me and you, we're not really working. However, this is our baby. We're going to do this thing together. She's not wanting to hear that. Well, if you don't want to be with me, then you can't be with us. Ladies, you can't do that.
Cannot.
You can't. It's not fair to the child. And then it's also not fair to you, because you're not allowing yourself to move on. This is not the person for you. He wasn't the person for you. There's seasonal people and there's lifetime people. He came in your life for a lifetime, just not the way you wanted him to. Yeah. He's going to be that child's father. And so allow him to do that. And then you go find yourself. Work it all out. Get over the little feelings you have, because then you're going to show your daughter, if you have a daughter, how to be a damaged woman and bitter woman. And then if you have a son, you're going to more so make him think his father is not a good man. And so he's going to miss out on those values of learning how to be a good man. Right. So really, ladies, cut it, please. Thanks. And that's coming from a woman who had a sorry baby daddy. I'm being so real. Cut it. Just let it go. Really let it go.
So true.
Yeah, I've definitely been across a lot of situations or known people who go through that, where the mother of the child is making it a lot harder than it has to be. Of course, there's two sides, or they say three sides: your side, my side, and the truth, and whatnot. But it's kind of hard sometimes to separate the personal feelings out of a co-parenting situation, because everything is personal. You know, your kid, you're going to take everything with your kid personal. Feelings, that's straight personal. You know, life is straight personal. So when you have history with someone and change is uncomfortable. Yeah. Uncomfortable stuff makes people, you know, a little antsy.
Crazy a little bit, right?
Things,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
So sometimes as a man and even as a woman, you have to, you know, give people a little bit understanding. You got to try to put yourself in their shoes a little bit. You know, if you're having a tough time, if you're trying to be a parent and we're not working out that well, like, hey, you know, let me try to see what I could do to ease the situation. Let me try to help. Sometimes some people don't have any type of empathy about what the other parent could be going through. True. You know, and one thing leads to another. So sometimes I don't think it's just all about the woman is tripping or the dad is tripping. Sometimes it's things underneath the surface that people don't acknowledge and don't take the time to acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. And how were you guys growing up? Were you in a co-parenting situation, or were both parents present? Was one gone?
My father, we kind of treat each other like dudes in the street. I have a lot of brothers and sisters. I know all of them. I'm close to all of them. I live 5-10 minutes away from my father. You know, I don't speak to him at all. He's a character. You know, I don't want to just go in on my pops, but you know, it's one of those situations where I would rather not know him than actually know him, and then he treat me that way. So, you know, me being a father kind of came from everything that he didn't do, I did with mine. Every way, the look in my mom's eyes, you know, trying to raise me and my brother. I didn't want my daughter to feel like that. I never wanted my child's mother to feel like that. That sense of not knowing if tomorrow is going to be good for your kids, or, you know, I'll be there in 5 minutes. 5 hours later, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You know, that type of thing. I never wanted that. So it kind of helped me.
It played a huge part
in
the whole thing.
I thought it was hurting me, but now that I'm a 20-year-old man with a daughter and business and, you know, friends and being on a podcast led by strong black women, you know, I wouldn't been able to be in that position, have that knowledge, you know, have that intellect or courage to do those things without those pains and lessons, you know. So they always say, the lessons turn to blessings and stuff, right?
I like that. Right. That's definitely a good way to put it, because a lot of people use the way that they grew up or their circumstances let that kind of dictate the way that they live out the rest of their life. Like for me, I grew up with my mom. My mom was a single mother. My dad went through some things. I don't know their full truth because, again, I was a child. I don't know. My dad admits he broke my mom's heart. He was like, I'm not going to lie. He said, I did some awful things to your mother. So, and it's nice now that me and him have a relationship, but we didn't start having a full-blown relationship until I was an adult. But I love the dude to death now. Like, that's my guy. Like, he's one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. And I'm glad that my daughter is getting to see him this way, because he is cool. But I've noticed with my dad, he's kind of trying to repay what he didn't do for me through my daughter. He will give Gianni whatever. And I told him, I said, Daddy, like, you don't have to pay me back. You don't owe me anything.
Right.
But the reason why I am one of those make a way out of no way women is because of my mom.
Right.
However, I had to learn to not be so strong. Because I had to realize I'm not doing it alone.
Because you're married now.
Yes. And so, and that's a thing we have to work through, especially when it comes to parenting. So I had Gianni, of course, before my marriage. So I'm real guarded and protected when it comes to Gianni, because she's been through a lot. And then I'm still protecting her because of what her father didn't do. And so when my husband came into play, I can't even count how many times he really just like grabbed me and was like, I'm not them. Allow me to be the man that you know I can be.
Word up to that.
And so I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I made parenting hard for him. It was Whitney's way. I've done this before. I got this. No, this is the way it's supposed to be done. And so we bumped heads. We still sometimes do when it comes to disciplining, but I'm getting better.
Good job.
My name is Whitney,
Word
and
up.
I'm getting better.
Because there's a few times where she's like, oh, Lex. I'm like, wait, what's his side of the story? She's like, you're right. Okay, all right.
I'm getting better, guys. I am.
true.
And shout out to my husband for being a real man and not letting my super strong personality like overtake our relationship, because if he did, we wouldn't have made it.
Shout out to Brandon. Yay.
Absolutely.
That's dope. Yeah,
And we know you had awesome parents.
my my parents are dope. Yeah, they're cool. I just wanted to say something. They're in Mexico right now. You know, all the earthquakes are happening.
Yes.
My mom said there was 39 aftershocks that happened following that situation. Isn't
And
that
they're
crazy?
probably so calm about it.
They're calm, but my
Your
dad's
dad's-
like, if I get home and our shit's destroyed, we're coming home. I was like, all right, Dad. I hear you, Dad. That's
He
cool.
said, I'm not building, I'm not buying, I'm not doing nothing.
Because
We
they
just gonna
just
go to Las
did.
Vegas.
They just got the house and everything. Nah, they're like, nah, I'm not starting over.
Well, I'm glad they're safe.
They're safe.
Let's just say that first.
'Cause they're
I'm so
freaking
glad
out.
my MCM is safe. And your mom, too.
But
That's
yeah,
my guy.
They're dope. I guess that's the reason why I've been in a relationship with someone who grew up similar to you guys, and I have to learn that, okay, let me listen to what they're saying. Let me not jump off the cliff and go in on them, you know what I mean? Because they were raised differently. Because I expect a certain, which everybody should. They should expect a certain level of respect and, you know, the way things should be going. And sometimes they just don't know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's ignorance is bliss or if they're really just, I don't know what to do in the situation. But I didn't want that for my daughter, my oldest daughter, Samay. And it happened, and I just had to adapt. And he'd be gone for months at a time and then come back for a week and then go for 6 months. And it was just the craziest thing because I never experienced that in my life. And I felt like, dang, how can I relate to her and make her feel better about her dad being in and out? Because I'm the type to not hold her from him. Mm-hmm. If you come and see her, cool. If you leave, I'm not chasing. You're just going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a question I have for you. How did you deal with that, or what type of things did you do for, or did you tell your daughter during those times when, if he would be gone or come back down and come back? Because it's tough not to badmouth, you know, when you're having those feelings. You know how you could feel, but of course you don't want to cast that to
No.
But didn't Samay start to feel a certain way after a while?
That's it. I didn't say anything, really, because I didn't know how to handle the situation. So this started when she was 1.5. So I kind of almost felt like I had a little time to figure it out. And then when it came and she started asking me, I was like, oh, shit, what do I do here? But no, I never badmouthed him to her, maybe to my friends. Mm-hmm. But in her eyes, he's still Superman, still the greatest dad ever. I would just tell her, you know, oh, he's working, he's doing, you know, whatever. You'll see him next weekend, maybe. You know what I mean? But I try to, I don't know, I guess walk on eggshells for her, in a sense.
What about you, Whitney? Like, did you have to go through that? You know, your daughter asking about her father at any point?
Honestly, no. Mm-hmm. He really became, what's the term? A non-fucking factor. Like, he really was, he was no one because he disappeared so early. She didn't know who he was. So all she knew was me, my mom and her husband at the time, and my oma and opa. And for her, that was her norm. She never brought him up, never asked, Mom, where's my dad? I think she thought it was, you know, just I made her by myself. And then as she got, as she got older and they would have like at school, like the dads and donuts and stuff like that. Shout out to, regardless of what they went through, my mom's husband at the time, because when I say he stepped in, he fully stepped into that dad role. So she, even then, skipped through all of that. She was like, you know, I got my grandpa here. Like, my papa is the man, so I'm not worried about who you guys have. Now, however, Gianni is 13, and she goes over to his dad's house. She used to go over to his dad's house from time to time, and he started to pop up. And I think there was one time he tried to tell her what to do, and she was like, you're not my dad. Like, what do you mean? Don't tell me these things. Like, my dad is Brandon. However, he has her number now, and even though I have some strong feelings towards this guy, I allow her to talk to him, and she's seeing it for what it is. She was like, Mom, yeah, he's, my father or whatever. I'll respect him, but, I don't really like him. She was like, he will call me maybe once every 2 weeks. And I didn't want her to talk to him at all. She was so fine to me without talking to him. But she's at that age where she's wanting to know a little bit more about herself. And she has this skill of basketball that didn't come from me. That came from him. He was really good at what he did. And so now that she's finding who she is and going through her little motions, ladies, regardless of how much he sucks, if he does reach out, even if it's slow at first, allow your child to see what type of person he is, because he may change. He may not change. And I don't want to just make this one-sided. If it's a man and you have sole custody of your child and the woman finally decides to reach out, allow her to. But I told him you have one time to hurt her, and then I'm cutting it completely off. And then you can reach out again when she's grown.
Right.
But he wasn't there. So like I said, there was no co-parenting because he disappeared. He was a ghost.
And that is a good point. Do you guys think that someone can come in later, like years later, and just completely change and be like, I want to be there full force?
My dad's proof.
Right. There comes a moment in their lives, right, where I think things shift and they start to see, okay, these are my priorities. I have children that are there that I've never been there for. Maybe I should step in and do something about it. So it's good to allow them that little wiggle room and see if things actually do change.
I would be very curious, if my father was to do that, want a relationship with me now. It's easy now. I don't need anything.
Exactly.
That's true.
I don't need anything. The things that I needed from you, which I can, and I've thought about this several times, I probably would be a better man if I had a relationship with you, because he's a hustler. He has a huge mind, probably to his detriment, because he's so wrapped up in his own mind.
Yeah.
I know I could have learned and got some gems from him, for whatever reason he wasn't up for that challenge, but I would just kind of question it and say, man, I know the right thing to do would be to put the past behind me, put my best foot forward, and to gain that relationship with my father. But it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Do you think he'd be doing it more so for himself rather than doing it for you?
Absolutely.
All right.
And if it's truly for you, I feel like that should be between you and who you believe in.
Yeah.
Right that wrong with who you believe in, God or whoever it is, not necessarily me, because it's not doing anything for me. And then you're still being selfish in that point. It's still about you.
Yeah.
Now you can step to me, and if you ask how I feel, if I want to mess with you, cool, leave it at that. But, maybe it depends about the age. If I was 16 and he tried to come around, or for example, your daughter's 13, maybe that's a little bit different. She's still young. She's not a baby, but she's still young.
Yeah.
But if someone was like over 18 and you're trying to come right your wrongs, I get it, but it's easy now, so I don't really know how to take that.
Has he ever met your daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
He came by the hospital when her mother was having the baby. And it was just still weird then.
Right. Right.
I can imagine.
I bet.
It was just
big
still.
That's
an intimate moment. That's why.
It was just still weird then.
Yeah.
I have relationships with his brothers.
Okay.
His sisters. I do a lot for my younger sisters. And it's just him. So it's just odd, me moving around the whole family, and me and him are like doing this dance with each other. Like, yeah what's up, fool?
That's crazy you said that, because that's how it is with Gianni. She has a relationship with her dad's brothers and his sisters, and she has other siblings. One of them actually goes to her school. And this same one doesn't really have a relationship with him either. But now Gianni's like, Mom, you know what? She used to get on my nerves and she was kind of annoying, but she's my little sister and she's kind of going through, an even tougher time because she doesn't have a dad like me at home. So I'm going to go ahead and be her big sister. And now, the little girl is wanting to play basketball like Gianni, and guess who's coaching? My husband. So guess who's also stepping up to the plate behind this dude? Right. My husband. And so
shout out to him.
It's definitely,
that's a tough situation.
It is. It definitely is. He, what's the term Casey used? He spreaded his oats, summer everywhere. She also has an older brother, where me and his mom just kind of decided to repair our like unnecessary hate for one another so our kids can be close. Absolutely. Because her son was the firstborn and he has always loved Gianni. Like they just have a different kind of bond. And he's been through some tough times because of his father not being there. And she has a husband who's been around and is a stand-up guy and works hard and provides, but he grew to know who his father was. And when he disappeared, that did something to him. And he's been in and out of trouble for a long time. But all he tells his mom when he talks to her, I can't wait to get home so I can see Gianni. Make sure Gianni comes to the house when I come home. So you guys gotta understand, you do more damage gone than just putting yourself last for a moment. And I understand raising a child, it's not easy. It's not. It's tough. You're gonna have your good moments. You're gonna have your moments where you're like, why the fuck did I have a baby? Like, what was I thinking? But at the end of the day, the reward is so great.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're gonna transform overnight, but to all of you deadbeat, whether it's mothers or fathers, take a moment and really, really, really think. Like, number one, did the child ask to be here? No. You and that person did that. Y'all had that moment. Y'all decided not to use the certain steps to not have a baby. And then two, what is that child going to think of you? Like, if you die and that child comes to speak at your funeral, will they have good things to say? Will they even come to your funeral? Are they going to pray for you? If you get old and you're sick and you need your child to take care of you, are they going to do it? Or are you going to have to go sit in a home? Or possibly be homeless because you don't even know your left hand from your right at that point. You got to think about these things because my dad is at a state right now to where he's going through a lot of different things medically. And I'm making sure that he takes care of him because he has a lot of things going on. I didn't have to do this. I could have been that bitter child, like, no, you weren't there for me. So, but at the same moment that I'm being there for him, he's being there for me. And so, I don't know. My situation is weird. Like I said, that's why I'm writing a book. But,
yeah, that's true.
I got a lot of different scenarios in my life. Like I saw a happy marriage. My Oma and my Opa were married for a very long time.
They're so cute. Yeah.
And then my dad's parents, not together. However, my grandpa had remarried and he's been with this woman for a really long time. My mom, I've seen her with some relationships. Has anyone ever been up to her standards to me? No. But I mean, love is love at the end of the day. So I've watched a lot of different things transpire. One of my favorite couples that I was looking up to, they're no longer together. So that was odd to me.
Oh man.
But it just lets me know that it's up to me to control my relationship and how it's going to go. Oh, yeah. And Lord forbid my marriage doesn't work. I still have that feeling to where I know Brandon's always going to be the father, not just for Nemo, but for Gianni too.
Oh, absolutely. And like, let's say something like that were to happen, he would still probably be there for you too. I mean, at the end of the day,
he's a stand-up guy.
Oh yeah,
like yourself. I know you personally, and I've watched you kind of transition, and you are. If nobody can say anything else about you, you're a good father. And you work hard. Like, you make me feel better about having so many hats because you do so many different things. And so it's just dope. We need more people like that for sure.
Nice little shout out right there.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a question. How do you ladies feel about the finances or the financial, split?
That's good.
With co-parenting?
I'll let you go first, Lex, because that just hit a switch.
Yeah. I take care of all the finances. I'm going to just be real. I don't even ask him for anything. I tell him what it is. She has school pictures coming up in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'll put it out there. But if he doesn't, give me any money, I'm like, whatever, I got this. You know what I mean? I just don't expect it. He's bought like school clothes. Of course, Christmas comes around, her birthday, things like that. But yeah, like the day to day, I take care of that. Okay. Yeah. What about yourself?
I do a lot. But the way I do it is I make sure my child's mother doesn't have to worry about anything coming from me. So what I mean by that is if I pick her up on Sunday afternoon and she's going to be with me till Wednesday night, The only thing you need is your school backpack and a bag if, you know, you have medicine you take or something, or, you know, if it's something personal you want. If it's a doll you want from your mom's, you know, bags with that.
Yeah.
Clothes, no. Shoes, underwear, no. Hair products, no. Nothing.
I pack all of that, even a toothbrush.
I don't even want it. I don't want it. Mm-hmm. And for the reason I don't want it is because I don't want any excuse that I didn't bring something back, that you don't have anything there. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
You know, your baby don't have shoes over here. Why? Because I didn't ask you for any. Mm-hmm. You know, my daughter has her own bed, own room. When we dress for school, those school clothes I bought. You know, she's on my insurance, right? And that's not cheap.
Hell no, it's not.
It's not. I know
she's on my insurance.
I know a few camera lenses I've been eyeing that I could buy with that money I'm paying for insurance.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do that. Let's say my daughter does extracurricular activities. You know, we split that. You know, if it's something that I need to do, then of course I'll step up and handle that. But I split that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's been times where I've had a few debates with my child's mother saying, oh, well, I need this money for this, or, you know, why can't you do this? And sometimes I will have a rebuttal. I'm honest about that because I don't necessarily feel the need to have to pay for something in full if I don't ask for anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's my insurance. I take her to school half the week. Mm-hmm. I supply her with food and bed.
Everything she needs, yeah.
You know, everything she needs.
Yeah.
I don't ask for anything. Nothing. Mm-hmm. So when it's time, you really only have to take care of yourself and your kid when she's with you 3.5 days. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're having trouble with that, then we should revisit the days she's with you. Maybe I should take her for 5 days straight while you're getting yourself together. And if it's
absolutely.
And if it's something additional to that, then maybe talk to me and let me know what's going on. But you know, a lot of fathers, they don't do that.
They don't.
So when it's time, so when the mom does ask for money, you need to give up off that money, bro. You need to give that check, fam, because you're not doing anything anyway. You know, say if you have her 2 days a week, that's great. You know, some dudes, they can only do that. Okay,
or 2 days a month,
or 2 days a month, right? So when
every other weekend.
So when the mom needs something or the baby needs something, you're obligated to do that, fam.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. But somebody in my situation where I'm consistent, the same days, every week, every month, holidays, I'm going all out. Finance, I'm doing all that. I really shouldn't get no rebuttal. I shouldn't be getting asked, you know, for this bread like that. We need to have a conversation and figure out why you can't do this.
Right.
Because I put you in that space, in that position to not really be needing for stuff.
That's a good point.
Man, if only. I'm just saying,
only.
like, I've been meeting, no lie, since I've become older, and I would say it started around maybe the age of 28. I've met some really good fathers. Yeah. Like, our generation kind of let out some really good fathers. Yeah, there's still those pieces of shit, but for the most part, I want to commend you guys. I want to say it's the 80s babies. A lot of you guys are really stepping up to the plate. Some of you guys are still finding your rhythm. Babies are still new, but the ones that I truly know, y'all are doing y'all thing, and I think that that's super dope. I'm very proud of you. I try to tell my black men especially how proud I am of them anytime I get. Those of you that are really stepping up to the plate, and even if you're not doing it to the capacity of Jay, your situation may be different. If you're at least there and you're trying and you're doing your part, if your life only permits, because you're working multiple jobs, going to school, whatever, only permits that 2 days out the month or whatever, as long as you're going to stop by and see your baby, call your baby, check on your baby, make sure your baby's good, those small steps matter more than you know. So I want to let you guys know, if anybody's discounting you as a father, if you're doing the best that you possibly can and you really can go to sleep at night knowing that you did everything you could, I salute you, and I thank you for that.
Word up. Shout out to those fathers that are doing great. One bit of advice I do want to give you guys that works for me: I don't do anything that will take me away from my kid. I turn it down, all right? Whether it's a job, you know, I figure it out. If those hours not going to work for me, I'm work hard to make sure that was the last resort. Like it was nothing else popping.
That's good.
You know, if I have a meeting and I'm gonna kick it with my kid, can we have the meeting here? Mm-hmm. You know, could we do this on the phone? You know, you have to put yourself in a position of where there's very limited excuses on why you can't be around your kid, why you can't do something. You know, so you can spend time with them for free. You can read with them for free. You can go to Chuck E. Cheese. It's a plan at Chuck E. Cheese that's $19.99. It's a medium pizza and like 20 tokens.
There you go.
Right? With tax, that's like $21.49. It takes $21. Bro, I will give it, whoever don't have $20 that's listening to this, I will give you that, bro. Yeah. You know, for your kid. It takes $20 for that. And I'm just saying, it takes that amount of time in 1 hour to really kick it and make an impact and just chill with your kid.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and kids don't forget that.
And they don't forget
They
that.
don't. It's the smallest things. And I think we touched on that before.
We did.
We were talking about the postpartum. It's the smallest things that make your kids happy.
Straight up.
Smallest things.
My daughter likes reading. She has a library card. I'll give you the library card. Take it to the library. Get free books.
Free. It's free.
I don't know why people think it costs all this money to hang out with your kid or make them happy.
They want to go to the park.
It is certain things that cost a lot, you know, but you can get in between that.
Oh,
you know? Park's free, reading's free, like you said, library cards. Return those books, though, because those fees is crazy.
Man, them fees is out of line.
Those fees are crazy.
We dealt with that. I think my fees got up to $97.
Oh, no.
Just really, really, really make that extra effort, though, and just figure out what you can do. Mold your life around your kid. It's really, really doable. Trust me, it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it work? Because I know that the both of you are now in new relationships. Was that hard to present to your child's parent, or was it just something accepted? Like, how does that work? Like, has it caused any tension, or is it just like a happy family?
For me, it was a little tough because I've never had my daughter around just random women, even friends, you know. I just wasn't big on that. So when I got into a new relationship, it was a little scary for me, more so with my daughter, because, you know, I was with her mother. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's just a new woman being around. You want to make sure that, you know, I'm not trying to make anyone your mom. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. I'm never going to put you around someone who I wouldn't want you to learn from, or, you know, actually have good intentions for you. And so that was different. Mm-hmm. But as far as my child's mother, it was really different there, too, because, like I said, I'm being considerate of their feelings, considerate of what they're going through. I'm not worried about how you feel on a I want you type of level, but I am worried about how you feel, because I don't want to make you worried that I'm trying to have somebody taking place as a mother, you know. Right. I don't want, this isn't a competition, you know. No one around me is trying to challenge your word, challenge your parenting, things like that. And, you know, of course that was a little tough, trying to work through that. But it worked out, you know. Time heals all type of things. You know, time makes you understand things, and more it goes on. Mm-hmm. The more information gets put out, the more you learn a person, the easier it is for situations to blend and, you know, blow over. Yeah. But when it first popped off, it was a lot for me, because I'm super active, I'm super opinionated. I need to know what's going on with my daughter at all times. You know, I'm a family-oriented guy. I'm a lover. You feel me? So I love my people. You know, if I care about you, I care about you the long way, there and back and forth, you know?
For sure.
And I mean, and that's my baby mama included, and my lady now, and friends I have, you know? Mm-hmm. So that whole dynamic is very, very sensitive. And I feel like men and women need to, like, really take that delicately. And there's so many things that goes into that. Like I said, the whole relationship, the feelings, the respect, things that's going on in your mind. You know, you have to be proactive and try to put all that on the table and say, look, this is what's going on. This is what I'm not trying to do. Don't think about this. If you have any questions, holler at me. Talk to your daughter. You know, you can ask her anything. So, of course, it was a little rocky, but it all worked out.
It all got there. I think my daughter's first exposure to it, because I hadn't dated for years and years and years, and it drove me crazy. But anyway, that's another topic. But she was exposed to it through him first, because I'm just going to put it out there. He dates a lot of women. And I had no idea this was going on until she would come home and say someone's name and say I spent the night at her house and slept in her daughter's bed, and you know what I mean? Things like that. And we had a problem, a big problem.
Because it wasn't brought to you, and then you didn't even know where your daughter was.
There was no
she's
communication.
At this random person's house, and you didn't tell me anything.
That was my first argument. Where is my daughter sleeping? I need to know this. I'm thinking she's with you, and she's across town somewhere where I had no idea. I can't just drive up if I need my daughter in any type of situation and get her, because I don't know where she's at. And you don't answer your phone. So we had to work on that. And it just drove me crazy. We had a lot of problems in that situation. He thought I was coming at it more so from him dating. I don't care who you date, but this is not what we're going to do. This is not going to work. And I think he was more so, like, he dates women with kids. And I feel like, in a sense, he does that so that they have something in common. And it's like, turns into a family situation. And then they break up 2 months later. And then all these kids are left just...
Like, where did such and such go?
Yeah, my daughter's asking, where is this little girl? I want to go to her house and play. I'm sorry, baby, I don't know. You have to talk to your dad about that one. I let him handle that situation because you did it.
That's really tough.
That is tough. And this has happened 4 times. 4 times.
I know.
And she's 6. Okay.
Because I get pissed every time I have to, like, hear about it. And I only live this part through Alexa, because I don't know anything about that. Right. But the damage you do to these children, because they don't know that this person is only going to be around for a few months, and you let them meet this person and love on this person, and then get to playing with their kids, and they think, this is the norm, and then poof, it's gone.
It's gone.
And then, meet Susie now, because Ashley's gone, and Susie's gone now, so meet Tammy. Like, you can't, number one, with a little girl, you really... Men, be gentle and watch, like Jay said, watch who you bring her around.
Absolutely.
Not everybody deserves to be around your child.
Absolutely.
And with little girls, especially at the age of Samay, very influential at this point. Like, picking up everything, picking up habits, picking up traits. And I'm big on spirits. You don't want everybody's spirit around your baby. Because you don't want that to linger, and then it comes into your home, and then now it's something that you have to battle off. And so when he was doing that, I was pissed.
Oh yeah, and
I was really pissed. Like, every time it was like a new person, and Lex was like, "Yeah, it was like this random car when he came to pick her up." I'm like, "Yeah, no, you should tell her she should stay home." But I'm not the baby daddy per se, so I can't really, I can't really control that. But stuff like that pisses me off, and I guess it makes me so mad because I went through some things. I met different people growing up, and I would get attached to one individual. And then, like, when you leave, what happened to you? Where'd you go? And so that's why I had a real big issue with trust. Trusting was not something that I was, no, trust you for what?
Yeah.
I don't know how long you're going to be around.
So I, with my new relationship, it's new. This is the first time I've brought someone to her like that. And honestly, it started with, like, because she's really nosy. So she'll be like, who's on the phone? Who are you talking to? So this was the first time where I kind of told her, it's a friend, and I'm getting to know him, and, told her the whole spiel. So she knew there was someone in my life. And then we slowly just brought him around. Like, and not even to anybody's house or anything. It'd be like an outing. So, like, the park or, wherever. And then it just went from there. So it was a natural, like, real easy transition for her, because she saw him and knew he was there and heard about him. And, it was easy for her. I'd rather it that way than just, hey, this is so-and-so, and here's their kid. Let's go to her house, and we're going to spend the night that night. Like, that's some crazy-ass shit.
That is a little traumatizing.
Change is huge. I mean, especially with kids. With my situation, I love to do things with my daughter. I love to go over and beyond. We like to experience all type of stuff. So quite naturally, if I'm with someone, she's going to do that with us. And, of course, that would be a big change to her mom. Because if we're doing this big extravagant outing that's new for everybody, Now you're sitting on the sidelines looking at it. Or you get the story from our daughter after that. Now with somebody there, you know, you could have done that at a point, but it's not like that anymore. That type of change is really tough for another parent, but at the same time, it's tough for a kid too, because when she's with you or she's with me, she's happy in that moment, but you don't know the type of energy that they get on the other side of that.
Right.
When they're asking questions, you know, how was it? How did she treat you?
Yeah.
What did you have fun? What did you guys do? Oh, okay. And then your kid looking like, how is my mom responding to this? How do you feel about that? You know, then that could put feelings on them too.
And
so that's
want
why
to protect their mom or dad's
and they
feelings.
want to protect their mom and dad's feelings. So now you're when you come back, why are you not talking as much? Well, they probably want to talk, but they were just hearing that negative stuff over there, you know. So that's why I think it's so important to just really try to communicate on things, even if you're not agreeing. But I got to know what's going on, man, you know, because this little girl means a lot. These children know a lot. They learn a lot. And one monkey don't stop a show. I'm always be me. We're always going over and beyond with my kid. And whoever I'm with, if it's that type of relationship, they're going to be included full throttle, you know. And these are things you have to get used to. And but you know, that goes back to just that change, you know, with being with people. I don't think it's really cool how people just jump in and out of relationships with that kid, you know. It sucks, and it hits you on another level.
That's why I have to do more on my side to protect that from her. So she's not someone who finds men that she's going in and out of relationships with when she gets older. So I have to lead the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even with Brandon, it took him a while before he met Gianni. He even told me, he was like, I forgot you had a kid. Because when I would hang out with him, I would go to his house, and it would be on the nights where like Gianni was at my Oma and Opa's or at my mom's house, and I had a free night. So I would typically go over there, you know, after work, we'd hang out, kick it, whatever. I told him up front I had a daughter, and I remember he told me I don't date people with kids or I don't get serious with people with kids. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's because you never met me. But he met her on accident. He came over to my house, and I was like, okay, if you come over, you have to leave before my baby gets up. This was the rule. And I told him, if you're here in the morning, that means you really want to do this relationship thing. Sure enough, he was there in the morning, and I said, okay, you still have time. I can sneak you out the garage real quick, and you can go out that way so she doesn't even see you. He was like, no, I think I'll stick around. And that's how it happened. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to let you meet Gianni, and she going to quiz you. Number one, she going to wonder why she can't sleep in the bed with me no more on the nights where you're over here, because Gianni was already, you know, close to 8, and she slept with mommy. So, yeah, that was one of the big things they had to work out. But she loved him, and that made me feel good, because I was nervous. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Yeah. And
that's a tough one. If
I let her ask her own little questions.
The kid doesn't respond well.
Yes,
I know.
And that's what I was going to ask you guys. If your kid came to you and was like, Daddy, I really don't like this woman, or Mommy, I really don't like this man.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Or how would you deal with that?
I think I would tell him first, and then we'd have to, I'd talk to her and figure out why. And then we'd have to have like some type of outing or something so I can see the interaction. If it really is, I don't know, we'd have to.
It'd be hard, but you would at least take your child's feelings into consideration.
I would take it into consideration and figure out why.
Because children are honest.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't say these things for no reason.
Because maybe you feel like, you know, maybe you're not my center of attention anymore. You know,
that
if
is
it's
one
something
reason,
else,
yeah.
then we'll address that. Because maybe it's not the person that they're not really, you know.
It's mommy's
but
attention.
Verbally, that's what they cannot express. So they're going to
Right.
say, I don't like them.
True.
Got it.
So that might be it. So we'd have to explore that. But at the end of the day, if it's really like on some, I don't like that person, there's a reason. I don't know. I'd have to think about letting that person go. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because there's something that's underneath the surface that I don't see that the kid's picking up on. And they pick up on a lot. They're
so observant.
They're so
Oh, my
observant. They
goodness.
still have that innocence that they're looking at it like this is evil right here. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna have to kick that in the. Because I could be looking at it with my, you know, rose-colored lenses, thinking all the experience in my life has just made me maybe like turn that part off, and I'm just trying to find the good or whatever. Kids are straight up. They don't like your cooking, they'll tell you.
Man,
This is
won't they?
nasty.
Nemo will tell me in a minute, Mom, I really
like
don't
it.
like this
I don't
meat.
like this.
Nope.
Can I have some ravioli instead?
That's right. So I'm going to listen, and because that might save all of us in the situation. So yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Jay?
I would talk to her, listen to her. If it's valid, I'm out.
There you go.
As soon as possible. I wouldn't even really spend too much time on it, because when I mean by valid is I don't like the way they speak to me, or I don't like the way they treat you.
Oh, that's a big one.
Because if they say I don't like the way they treat you, that means they're sitting there really watching that interaction, and that would trigger something in me fast. But if it's something like, well, they always telling me I need to clean up, or they always telling me to make sure I'm doing my homework.
Something they don't like and won't like to hear from anyone
I'm
anyway.
like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm about to marry him tomorrow then. 'Cause that's how I know.
I want them telling you to clean your room.
I want them telling you that. But if it's something like that, like the way they're treating you, or I feel, keywords, I feel uncomfortable. For if a kid says I'm uncomfortable with something, that's so huge to me.
Yeah.
That's so huge. So certain kids don't use words like that in case they really mean something, or there's really a situation. That I was at school and I was a little uncomfortable, Dad, because of this. I'm turning off everything. What happened? Because that keywords are really triggers for things. So
Absolutely.
I'm out as soon as possible if that was to happen. But I do get trying to assess the situation if you may just be you're being a little kid right now. I get it. Get out your feelings. Do this homework.
That's right.
And then for Samay, I know that would be, or it was a major transition because it's been just you and her.
Yeah.
Day one. I'm in mommy's room. Yeah, I got my whole room, queen size bed. It's decked out, TV, games. But guess what? I'm coming in mommy's room. I'm bringing all my toys in mommy's room. I'm going to be right up under mommy all day long. So I was nervous waiting for that transition. I was hoping she received it well. And then when it just kind of like happened, I was like, yes, it worked.
Yeah. And you know what? It was a lot for her. There was a new baby coming. We were going to live together now, all of us. And my
grandparents
moved out of the country.
Yeah. And she took it like a champ.
She did.
But
I'm so proud of her.
That's all you, though. That's you grooming her to be a child to where if something's wrong, tell me.
Yeah.
If something's right, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Live in it. And that's letting you know that what you did was good. And it was good for her. Because Samay will let you know. Like, Mom, look, we need to have a talk. I'm not, and that's how she talks to her. We need to have a talk, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with this situation.
She does.
I don't like this. I don't like this. This is okay, but I don't like this either.
She'll
what are we
tell
gonna
me
do about
when
it,
I
Mom?
make her mad. Mom, she'll walk out the room, dead serious. Come back, Mom. I left because you made me mad.
That's really what kind of
Straight
kid
up.
she has.
And I'd be like, let's talk about it. What did I do?
And I used to laugh at you for that, but now Nemo. Yeah, he'll tell me in a heartbeat. He'll walk out the room, go in his room, he'll close his door, and I'll come in there and be like, what's your problem? Well, you really upset me. Oh, did I? Did I upset you? Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about what I did to you.
What did
okay?
I do?
Yeah.
Well, you told me to go clean my room. Well, guess what?
That's what you
still
gotta
have
do.
to clean your
right.
room.
You
player.
can be mad, but you're going to clean this room.
Kids are interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can more so only say if it was to ever, and it's not going to come because we're in this thing forever, but just hypothetically speaking, if Brandon was to ever be with someone else, that point where you were talking about, the whole, you guys have been in a relationship, it would be hard. Because I'm like, I wouldn't even want him to be with nobody else. Even if I had somebody else, I would be like, no,
Oh, no.
I don't want you to be with, I'm being honest right now. I'm
Yeah.
that type of person.
Okay.
And so, it'd be tough. And I could see myself having a really hard time with accepting another woman being around my child. Only because my children are my children. And they've always been just my children. So I would need to meet her. I would need to get her vibe, and I would need to know her intentions. If your intentions is not to really just play your role, my kids are not going to call you mom. That's not going to happen. You're not stepmom either. You're their dad's girl or their dad's wife, whatever. And that's just how I am. If I'm wrong for that, shoot me. But I need to know who my kids are around, what's your intentions, and not just with them. What's your intentions with Brandon? Because if you're just coming here for play, I know the type of heart he has. I need you gone because I'm always going to protect him. Always, regardless of whatever happens between us. I'm protecting him and my kids. So I need to meet you one-on-one. Nobody else around. We need to go have lunch.
Definitely don't think you're wrong for that. I don't think you're wrong. I would never say someone's wrong for putting their kids' feelings and well-being first, no matter what their opinion is. All right. You don't have to agree, but you should definitely understand.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's a dynamic we should really be focused on, you know, as people, agreeing and understanding. There's two different things, but one of them has to happen. And, you know, me personally, you know, if my child's mother has a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, I'm going to be extremely protective over that. I'm not going to be at your house trying to see what's going on all day, but I'm going to need to know something. Too many stories you read on the internet nowadays. You know, too many people have intentions of just playing around, like you said. So many people use children as a way to get in.
Yeah.
They prey on weaknesses like that, you know. And I'm not really for that. If you don't have good intentions for her mom, and it's not even me trying to just look out for her mom because I can't, like, you know, I'm trying to be with her, but I need you to have good intentions for her mom for my daughter's sake. All right?
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with me. If you want to go out and date people that's going to hurt your feelings and you want to cry at night or have some long post to stress about on Facebook or something, that's your business. That's your business, and that's what you want to do. All right. But when it comes to my daughter, when you're sad and you're hurt, that's taken away from her energy. That's taken away from her mouth or her plate of food or her whatever. And I can't allow you to be in that type of position. I can't allow you, brother, to bring down my ladies like that. You know, because whether we're together or not, those are women in my life. All right. One of the reasons why I go so hard with what I have to do for my daughter is because I'm trying to alleviate some of the pressure from her mom so that she can be right for you. It ain't nothing to do with your mom, fam. You know, if I was dead over heels wanted your mom, we'll be together. It's not about that. It's about you, right? And I want you to be in a happy relationship. I want you to be around a respectable man. You know, can't no BS go around that because that ultimately always affects the kid.
Absolutely.
People try to front on that saying, oh, well, this who I'm dating ain't got nothing to do with the kid. Really? You kidding me, bro? You kidding me?
I hear that a lot.
You're dating this dude for months, and then he start dragging you through the mud. When you come home, like, so you're just instantly chipper and happy when in front of the kid. You don't those emotions never flow to them, right? You know, you never. I don't feel like cooking dinner tonight. I'm tired of this dude. Well, what your baby gonna eat? McDonald's because you don't feel like cooking. So all these things you have to take into consideration.
That's good. That's real good. And well, I'm definitely glad that you decided to come on and share your insight. I know that you are one of the rare stories of co-parenting, but I just wanted to get that out there so that men know it's possible. It's really possible. Up to you to kind of take control of the situation. And Lex, thanks for sharing your insight.
Of course.
I know that you were polite about it, so I applaud you.
We'll need a part two.
We could do a part two.
We need a part
down.
two of co-parenting. I feel like there's probably some subjects we could have
We just kind of dodged them a little bit for time's sake. But you know what? This may be a part two. Maybe season 2. We'll revisit co-parenting again, and we would love to have you back.
Absolutely.
And then maybe we can get a father who doesn't have it as easy to, you know, try to co-parent. The ones that are really trying.
The horror stories?
Exactly, the horror stories.
Exactly.
For sure. And I'm not saying come on my show and just completely diss it. You have to, you know, kind of tell your story about what you did on your end too.
That might have to be a late night podcast type of episode.
We have
need
to do
a
it.
drink on the table.
We don't have to get the drinks out like we used to do. Have the wine and the yak on deck.
I'll let y'all know. I'm
let
not
it
an
out.
easy person to deal with, guys. I know, you know, we're gonna put. I'm definitely
Be
not.
prepared,
I'm
is
definitely
what he's
not
saying,
an easy person
okay?
to deal with. You know, huge minds come with things. You know, having the courage and the integrity to stand up for your family and your kid. It comes with some stuff too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
No, absolutely.
Right. So
Nobody's saying it's the easy road,
definitely-
you guys.
not
I mean,
easy.
me and my baby mom not together for a reason, and I would never, ever be that dude and say, "Oh, it was just her." All right, I would never say that, and I'm extremely honest. And with that being said, part two, we could talk about whatever, and I'm really appreciative of you guys having me on. I feel like this is a great thing. And, much love to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Yeah, so you guys, we'll definitely have a part 2.
Here we go.
There
Part
we
two.
go. Part 2 will be coming up. We'll keep you guys posted. I actually want to post a little bit more questions in our group, too, to kind of get some more insight from the men and women we have in the group.
We can do that.
So that we can bring that, forefront when we have our part 2. But until then, you guys, it's been great. It's your girl, Truth.
Lex Lev.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.